Hello, hi, hello. How are we doing today? It is another exciting day in the WorldAnvil sphere. We are doing summer camp homework number 2, week 2. I hope everyone is having a lovely day. I'm still kind of getting started, so do forgive me if I'm off to like a little bit of an awkward, slow start. We're hanging out. We just finished watching the stream. Yeah, I have my messing around with my mug. I have my sippy at the ready, so you know we are ready. We are ready to start world building. We are ready to start writing. Calixtus, hello. How are you doing today? Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. How's our music level? Like barely showing up on my screen. I think that's fine. So how are we doing? How are you on your little world building adventure so far with summer camp? I don't know if you're doing summer camp. I don't know if you're doing the homework. But I'm excited about it. Alright, hold on. I just need to post a little announcement saying that I'm actually live. Hello. We're live and we have more homework. A little picture in there. Very fun. Doing good. Ready to do more week 2 homework? Heck yeah. You know, I have been ready to do week 2 homework since like 2 hours after week 1 homework dropped. And so we are here. We are getting ready. Hold on. Just get rid of this, get rid of that. Update is posted. Bum ba bum bum bum. All right. So, let us see where we have left off. Did week 1 homework? Heck yeah. What were your thoughts on the first theme, on power? I feel like I haven't read your homework. I haven't seen it. I'll have to check that out at some point. Let's see, where is the correct screen? Why can't I function today? Alright, here we are. Here we are. We have the blog post on one side, we have my pledge article on the other side. I'm a witness to that. You're doing homework like 5 minutes after stream. Yes, I am here to do homework, and I don't know, I feel like I stress myself out so much trying to do these things at the last minute, so I'm like, well, why not just transition to first minute, right? So yeah, we have that going for us. And so let's see. Okay. So, of course, we have our summer camp pledge, Lunar Rest. Hello again. Hi, hi. How are you doing? And we're just having a little look-see at our pledge article from week 1. And so yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on here at this point. We have not 1 but 2 little like camp club badges at this point. We have Camp Feral, of course, the original, the OG, and we have the Dewey Diamonds. So if anyone was not here to know what the Dewey Diamonds are, it's basically just camp chill approach, but specifically with the goal of getting diamond. So it's a little more involved. It's a little, you know, we have bigger goals and we need to work a little extra hard to get to them. So if you're trying to keep a chill mindset throughout and you're going for diamond anyway, you can become a little dewdrop with us. And if you are of Camp Feral and the Dewey Diamonds at the same time, I have been calling you Feral Dewdrops. And I love that. I'm thinking about making some art to kind of like depict my personal vibe for summer camp. So we got the feral people, we got the chill people, we got the diamonds, the bronze buddies. And on the topic of the Dewey Diamonds and the bronze buddies, there are some openings in there for people to come up with their own, like, you know, like silver version or gold version. So the community is your oyster. Alright, so popping on over here, of course. Homework week 2, making a pledge. Let's see. Calixtus, my thoughts. I think it's a fascinating theme. You can talk about powerful realms, organizations, powerful people, or characters, or even gods, or powerful magic. Yes, absolutely. we can just go over what I did for last week real quick. But yes, that's basically the big thing that I'm going to be talking about as far as the power theme is going to be the different forms of magic in my world and where they come from. And so this, of course, the magic from the ley lines is the first one. Then there's also the magic from the gods, and of course the gods are entities. And then there's the magic of the elements, and the elemental, like, I'm calling them primordials essentially at this point, are also entities. But the first one is not connected to any particular entity. And yeah, so hopefully I will get plenty of prompts that like allow me to dive into those things without having to twist too much. Of course, I don't mind twisting the prompts to do my bidding, but you know, I want them to fit the spirit of the prompt to begin with. That'd be really nice. But yeah, and so while I'm writing about all of that, anything that doesn't quite fit into like this grand scale of like, you know, magic, the laws of the world, I want to focus everything down on the Kingdom of Arsavella, which is one of the articles I wrote for WorldAmvil. And of course, that would be this article right here. So of course we have Kingdom of Arsavella. And I want this to be kind of my, like, you know how you get into a game and you have a starting zone? Wonderful article, may I say? Oh, thank you. But yeah, you get into like a game or something for the first time, you're in a starting zone. This is basically what I want this kingdom to be. And so it's the first place I want to really develop to any like, you know, meaningful degree. And so yeah, that's gonna be my primary plan. So if we're not writing about like the big overarching like power structures of the world, we're going to be writing about what's going on in Arsavella. And I think that's good. It gives me something really broad to work with, but it also gives me something really like small to work with at the same time. Kato Blipon, hello! Hello, welcome. Oh no, ads! Oh no! Man, I wish these ads just weren't like a thing. I wish I could choose, like only choose to run them. I mean, I don't know, it might be a thing. I don't know how any of this works. Yet. I should probably look into it, but but yeah. No more ads. Hello! Hi, hello, how are you? And Kanjatan writes hello. Oh, all the cool people are here. So yeah, we're talking about our summer camp goals, our little plans. And we're gonna kind of dive into the homework. Of course, we have to keep building on this pledge. So let's see what they are asking of us in this homework. So of course, homework week 2, making a pledge. I need to give my chapter homework, but I'll be here listening. Excellent, excellent. I need to figure out what I want to do specifically for summer camp with the chapter. I know we're gonna be like, you know, tracking our progress together and all that. That's excellent. But I'm wondering what are some fun ways that maybe we could be able to start collaborating in the middle of this big event. It's just, there's a lot going on, so I don't know, like, I don't want to stress people out too much, I don't want to do too much. Because of course, after summer camp, the field will be wide open. We can do pretty much anything at that point. But during summer camp, there's like this huge rush to just get a whole lot of work done. I don't know, I feel like I'll stress myself out by adding to it, so I don't know, we'll see. Let's see, theme preparation, frontier. So the second theme for the Silver Prompts wave is frontier. Frontiers are boundaries between things, borders, but the word also has a connection to the edge of the known world. Frontiers are a world-building gold, so we put together a deep dive about using frontiers in world building. Here are some questions you can use to get started. Where are the frontiers in your world setting, and why would anyone want to go there? What about metaphorical frontiers like the frontier of medicine or space, the final frontier? Of course, we can't talk about frontiers without bringing in Star Trek. So let's see. Write a paragraph or two about frontiers in your setting in your pledge document, considering these questions and the advice in the blog post. And we can use it for inspiration in July. Excellent. So yeah, we just gotta write about what frontiers are in this world. And that is a really good question to think about. And of course, the feature hint here is maps, and so I am brought back to the map I made back in December. And that it basically outlines all the places in my world. And so really I have no excuse to not dive into at least several of them. Of course, we go here to my favorite map. A lot of places in this world. I mean, there's an entire frontier up here. Oh my gosh, zoom in. There's an entire frontier up here that's covered in ink. I don't even know what's up there. I don't know what's up there. But to be fair, I also don't really know what's over here. I don't really know what's over here completely. Pins are popping up. Stop. Like there are so many areas in my world that even to me are a frontier. And so there are a lot of different directions that I can just take this from. There are a lot of different places in the world that people aren't really able to go into. I know a lot of people during the WorldAnvil stream were talking about things like swamps and natural barriers that people aren't really able to cross between and go through. And like on the topic of swamps, I have Leech Sea, which is this little region over here. And that is a swamp that no one can really travel through. No one can really get through it. But there are people living there. There are people who live there, but getting through it as an outsider is pretty much impossible. It is a frontier that not a lot of people have conquered. Or no one really has. Some just came to live with it. And so yeah, I have a lot of angles that I can approach this from, and that is exciting. That is exciting to know that I have directions that I can take this just very easily. But also, if we're on the topic of Arsavella, there is a massive desert forming at its southern end, down here, and that is, if we go back to the Kingdom of Arsavella article, that's the Melikaj Barrens. Now, of course, I already have an article for this region. We can also consider different areas within that region. Like this article isn't super developed. It really just describes like this is a desert that exists. It was named in this way and it's an encroaching threat. That's it. That's all I have for this area. And so there's a lot of stuff we can add to this. And Cedra Haunted, hello. Hello again. How are you? I'm gonna start making it a habit of every time someone's name pops up. Every time someone's name pops up for the first time in like during a stream, I'm just gonna take a sip. And Mira Cosmo, hello. We take another sip, of course. Hi, how are you? How's everyone doing today? Thank you for tuning in. I hope everyone here is ready for some homework. I know I am. That's why we're here. That's why I'm doing it. But yeah, we are talking about some of the frontiers that exist in Malcora that at least come off the top of my head. And so, because there's a specific region of my world that I'm trying to focus on this year, which is, you know, this one, Kingdom of Arsavella, we have a giant desert at the southern end of it that many would suggest is a frontier. And of course, there is this river that separates Arsavella from Nimavi, which is also kind of a frontier in and of itself because you can't really go through there either. This entire region is surrounded by a lot of places you just can't really travel into. The only real way out of here is up along like the northern shore up this way over to Urisbriana. And that's pretty much it. And then you can very easily through that city up top cross over the mountains and then travel elsewhere, but that's really the only path that is like usable. It's the only usable path. Very accessible, but it's the only one. And so, yeah, there's a lot of frontier adjacent regions that I can write about. Even without leaving this little corner of the world, because again, we do have an entire map of regions that are not explored at all. They're not written about, they're not really a thing right now. Like even down here in the south, over here by Yulrorim. And we're just gonna ignore this entire half of the world That's one hell of a frontier, but I don't think we're going there anytime soon. We'll go here, like in the same way that World of Warcraft releases new expansions, and it's like, oh, we found a new continent over in the mists. Let's learn about it and see what's there. But right now, I haven't even fleshed out the equivalent of Eastern Kingdoms, so it's a rough one. So yeah, that timeline's a little wishy-washy. We'll see which way it goes. But yes, so if we go over to our pledge document, we'll start looking at some stuff. We'll start writing our little write-up. I'll basically be writing about pretty much everything that I just said. Let's see, that's the footer. Oh yes, this is gonna throw me off a lot because the sidebar in this article is not actually a sidebar, it's a column container in my footer. So it's at the end. So even though I'm trying to add stuff to like the end of my article, so to speak, it's not the end, it's above all of this. Above all this like container stuff right here. Alright, so let's see. How did I name this? Bum bum bum. Oh, I need to find an icon. Go to font awesome. Is my favorite little thing. It's one of my favorite things about making anything on WorldAnvil is just I get to put icons on it. I get to make it fancy and pretty. Oh man, so what kind of icon would I set for Frontier? If I look up travel, does that give us anything fun and exciting? A map? Certainly a map. We could oh, I like this little transporter one. That's cute. Especially because we're talking about Star Trek a lot during this conversation, like a little transporter, like you're being beamed somewhere. That's really funny. That's actually really cute. I might do that if nothing else just like grips me, you know? Because I think compass could be really cool because that definitely implies like, you know, you're traveling somewhere, you want to know where you're going. The mountain and sun also intrigues me. I don't want to use like airplanes or anything because we don't really do that around here. Snowflake. Oh, palm tree? Palm tree would be good for summer camp. Is that? Oh, I don't have an icon for my actual just like pledge title. I'll have to change that. Oh, of course we could just use the toilet paper icon. Why not? No, we're not doing that. It's jokes. Yeah, we'll see. We can see what map gives us. I don't know. I really like the transporter. But do I use the one with the guy just standing there, or do I use like this one? Oh, we'll try this one. I'll just throw this in. FA transporter 1. Frontier. And so we refresh this little page here. We'll see. I really like the transporter icon, like thematically, but I'm not sure 100% if I like it visually. Well, that's fine. We can come back to it later. It's a work in progress. Let's see. Some paragraphs about frontiers in my world. I could... I don't want it to take up too much space. I was thinking like, oh, I could link my map that of course we were just looking at. Where is it? Over here. Could link this, but it would take up a lot of space in the article, and I don't really know if I want to do that right now. It's a toughie. It's a toughie, I say, as I'm actively copying the, as I'm actively copying the code for it. Oh, we'll see. Yeah, cause kinda, like, it takes up... It's a chunky boy. Although, who knows, maybe the other two... Maybe the other two categories aren't going to take up a crazy amount of space. We'll see. I wanted to kind of line up with the contents here of the sidebar in the end. Yeah, and if I expand the window a little bit so it's like full size, it does not leave me with a crazy amount of space. I could hide it behind a button, of course. And I think I might. Because I have these questions here that I have hidden for the power theme. And so I might do something similar with the map. And just in case anyone has not already seen the article itself, this is the article that we're working on. This is my pledge document. Pledge article. I don't know, man. Everything's a document. And so yes, so we have... Yes, because I did pose these like additional questions. Bird, excuse me. Anyone hear the seagulls yelling outside? Anyway, I posed some extra questions that I just kind of came up with because I was inspired by the power theme. And like I posted them on TikTok. I know I talked about them a little bit in the challenge discussion in the SummerCamp channel. But yeah, so some cool questions that I thought, at least I thought, would be worth considering for my world. What do people associate with power in your world? So like the people who live there. What do they think of when they hear about power? Because you know, even with the discussion on the theme last week, you know, everyone in the chat, everyone was just giving different ideas for what they consider to be power in their world. That would be pretty much the same in your actual world. The people would have different thoughts. And so you can very easily dive into like, why do they think this way? Why is this what they associate with power and maybe not that? You know, that kind of stuff. And of course, another question, what has more or less power than people think? Also another fun question that can bring even more fun things to the table when you start asking why. Like, why do people think that this is super powerful, or why do people think that this isn't very powerful? You can also have fun answering the question, why are they incorrect? Like, what is the truth? How powerful is this thing actually? And then lastly, how does one obtain power? I know Moro has been doing a lot of discussion and like streams and videos about like magic systems and, you know, wielding magic and all that kind of stuff. And how people come to wield magic is certainly one of the ways that you can answer this question, but also like gaining political power and evolving on a technological level. There's just so many good ways to approach the topic of power. I know we only have 2 themes so far, but I think maybe you can tell that power is my favorite one. I would love to champion one of the power prompts. Or champion sponsor, whatever. I don't know, we'll see. I did submit the form to be a sponsor for this event. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting if I actually, you know, get myself a little slot. So I had so much fun during World Ember doing all of the article reads for my category. I will have to... Okay, so SummerCamp is much more popular, I think, on a per article type basis than World Ember. I think I had like 40-something articles to read during World Ember for my category. Depending on which wave of prompts, like which wave your sponsored prompt is in, it can get anywhere from like 100 to 300. So, I'll have my work cut out for me if I become a sponsor. That's fine. That just gives us more article read streams, right? Those are so much fun. I loved reading the articles. I love making art for each and every single one that I read. It's good fun. It's much fun. And so that's something to look forward to again this year. If it goes well for summer camp this year, I will try to also sponsor for World Ember again. Oh, it's so much fun being so involved. But no, okay. I'm on a mission. I have to write. That's what we're here for. Alright, so we are going to spoiler this map in the button. Same map of Malcora / spoil. Oh. I accidentally put in a C instead of an S. I have the hiccups. I talked so much and now it just, my body's like, stop it. Oh, okay. I think I'm ready. And just take my little sippies. Anyway, okay, so we have the map of Malcora. I think I will want that at the, after some text. So we will see. Theme preparation for Frontier. And so, Malcora is a world full unexplored and uninhabited unexplored and uninhabited places, largely due to its unstable, shifting nature. Regions of the world change. Often with crunchy. I'm trying to decide how I want to word this. Because that's the cool, fun thing about being a writer is you have all these ideas and you think, okay, it's gonna be really cool to put this down on the paper. But then you try to get the words to work and they just don't. And so all these ideas are just floating around in your brain and you're like, okay, just do the thing. Just do the writing, it'll be fine. And your brain's like, no, it has to be perfect. I have to get exactly the right words onto this page right now. And then you just get in your head about what to write, and then you just don't. And then you end up with all these ideas that are just inside your brain. Let's see. Regions of the world often change. Regions of the world change often with disastrous results. Or inhabitants. But more so. Any often with disastrous results for its inhabitants, but more so for any potential travelers. Kitoipoi! Hello, Strixline and everyone. Hello to you too. How are you doing? Must take an honorary sip. How are you doing? How was your time on stream? It was so much fun. I really loved watching you guys chit chat about the new theme, new homework. Do you also have it that you write and forget to write certain words, even if you thought about writing those words? Oh gosh, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes I will think that I wrote something, and then I will check back in, like, half an hour later, my eyes have settled, they've deacclimated from the thing that I was staring at for 10 years and I'll be like, wait a minute. I didn't mention this anywhere. I didn't write this sentence, I didn't write this word. So I play getting some food together. Ooh. It was great. They're literally great people, which is a nice thing to discover. Yeah, oh my gosh. They're excellent. And I cannot believe that Dimmy will will disown me if I don't show up to New York City meet. Oh, so much pressure. Not like I was planning to skip it anyway, but you know, now I have some stake in it. Now I have to be there. Well, happens with words like of, with, etc. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, cause like obviously I live in New York, and so you know, New York City makes sense, but it's still like 5 hours away from me. So it's not exactly like a easy trip, but it's not atrocious either. Like I'll do it. It's worth it for a meetup. Last year's meetup was excellent. I got to meet some incredible people. I got to meet Janet and Dimmy for the first time, and I got to meet like Chris from ECC Books and a couple other great world builders that unfortunately I just don't think are too active in the community, which, you know, it's unfortunate. We had a very small group show up. But I'm hoping maybe this year New York City meetup will have some, like, you know, just larger turnout, more people. I live in Florida, but Miami and Orlando are pretty far away. Yeah, I mean, Florida's really long, so that makes sense. Florida's really long. New York is also quite long, like east to west. Yeah, and I'm I'm kind of just like smack dab in the middle, so it's a 12-hour drive tip to tip. Ooh, yeah, that's rough. I'm wondering. Okay, now I have to consult the Google. What would the trip look like from, we're gonna say from Buffalo. We're gonna say from Buffalo to New York City. Oh, you know, that's not so bad. It's only 6 hours. I've driven much longer for less. I'm not in Buffalo. That's just like as far. Oh god. That's just as far east as west that I could take it. Let's see. Okay, if you want to go from Buffalo, which is all the way west, to the very tip of Long Island. We'll push it like as far as possible. To the very tip of Long Island, it is 9 hours. So literally just like that tiny little stretch from the start of Long Island to the end of Long Island is 2 hours, which makes sense. The traffic there is atrocious. Oh, hearing American fine travel distances as European makes my skin crawl. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, like, you have to consider also, I drive 30 minutes to work every day. So, that's not true. It's like, I've cut it down to 20 since I moved, but I used to drive 30 minutes to work every morning. And Orlando's 1 to 2 hour drive, depending on that Disney traffic. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I could never imagine. I've never even been to Disney. So it's a rough one. But yeah, so yeah, so American travel times is pretty great. Yeah, I think the longest car trip I've been in, like, I'm gonna say the last 10 years, because I know my parents dragged me along for some really crazy car trips back in the day, but I have like no memory of them. But a couple years ago, me and a bunch of my friends, we went to Indiana for a LARP, and I think that was like a 9-10 hour drive. I must drive much faster than everyone else. That is possible. Oh, I went to Disney Orlando, the animal one, and it was okay. Yeah. But yeah, I think like a 10-hour drive is the longest I've done recently, and it was, you know, honestly, I'm gonna say it was okay because I wasn't the one driving. And we had like kind of a party van, essentially. We had like a whole bunch of us in one vehicle and we were just having crazy musical sing-alongs. It was great. It was a great time. I don't mind driving. Driving by myself is great because I can just turn on my music and zone out, and it's like I'm fast traveling to my destination. Um, but you know, if there's like, if I have to drive with someone, then suddenly it's like, oh, I can't listen to my music as loud. I have to talk to them. I have to acknowledge that there's another person in my presence. So it just becomes a little more difficult. I can't just shut my brain off as much. It requires very like concerningly little brain power to drive a car. And yet people still get it wrong all the time. I did Tampa to Denver, Colorado. Ooh. Yeah, it's a tough one. 3 days and enjoyed it, yeah. I mean, travel's cool. Travel's fun. As long as nothing goes wrong, I think travel is just such a great time. You know, but then you encounter like delays and things and it just starts getting a little weird. Disney has this water ride and this is really fun. Ooh. Almost like rafting, but with round boats. Oh yeah, I have been on a bunch of rides that are similar to that. Like you're on a little raft and you're just like going through this whole wacky wild adventure. They kind of terrify me a little bit, but that's okay. I always just worry that I'm gonna fall off or something, and now I'm just like rolling around in this giant plastic plastic death dome. You know what I mean? Disney's a lot of fun. I need to get on the new Star Wars ride. Pandemic messed me up there, and I haven't been back. Aw. Yeah, I feel like I just haven't really gone and done anything worthwhile since the pandemic started. um, like I had my first little adventurous step back out into the world in April, of course, when I went to the D20 cruise. That was like the first big thing I've done in years. Oh, that was great. I need more opportunities to just get out of my house, out of my space. It's I don't take enough of those opportunities. But of course, since I'm working now, I'm meeting more people. I'm talking about, you know, like I'm doing stuff, and so it makes life feel a lot more fulfilling. That cruise sounds amazing. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. The people running it were also just really excellent humans to just hang out with. And yeah, it was just a whole bunch of nerds sitting in a basement. We just happened to be in a basement of a cruise ship. And like I always joke like, yeah, I came back from a cruise without a tan because I was in a basement playing D&D. I don't know what you expect. All right. Back on topic. So regions of the world change, often with disastrous results for the environment, which makes them difficult or impossible to explore for most. Basement with friends is the best. Yes, that's why I kind of wish I had a basement. I live in a little studio, so I don't really have space for anybody, really. Only myself. But I don't mind living like that. I like this. I like this arrangement. Let's see. need a grown-up house to store my children and my stuff. I like the idea of you just like storing your children in your house. Like, okay, all these cardboard boxes go up in the attic, these children go into this room. We're all set. Basically, yeah. You just put them in this room. You don't worry about it anymore. It's okay. They're where they should be. Make that the next paragraph. Okay. Though several civilizations have survived these radical changes, many fall away to ruin. These things that pose Alright, so we got this. We have Malcora is a world full of unexplored and uninhabited places, largely due to its unstable shifting nature. Regions of the world change, often with disastrous results for the environment, which makes them difficult or impossible to explore for most. Though several civilizations have survived these radical changes, many fall away to ruin. It is these ruins that pose both an exciting opportunity for discovery and great challenges as explorers attempt to brave precarious environments and magical dangers to explore them. So this is the nature of frontiers in Malcora. Things maybe used to be here. We don't know because it's really hard to go and explore them. People may try, but understand that it is dangerous for a multitude of reasons. But nevertheless, these are places that few are able to explore and fewer still are able to live in. No, maybe it's the other way around. Few people can live in them, and fewer people can show up and adventure through them. Because yes, the people that live in these places, as they change with the places. So if you already live there, odds are you will be fine. The place you live in may not be fine, but you will be fine. Usually. You'll be able to live in this new place. And whatever remains of your civilization, you can either build it back up or you can abandon it and go somewhere else. And so that is going to be something that I have fun exploring, I think. I don't know, everyone who is here, how do frontiers, like, how do you contextualize frontiers in your worlds personally? I know there's a lot of different ways to kind of approach this. So I think my take on this so far has been very literal. It's like, you know, places to explore. But really, I think that's the kind of thing that I just want to focus on with Malcora, is like, there are these places and they're constantly changing. Come explore them. Figure out what's in there, you know? And so I don't feel particularly drawn to like the metaphorical frontiers that were I'm not really too drawn to the metaphorical frontiers that were posed in the, you know, in the questions. Like, you know, frontier of medicine and all that kind of stuff. Cause that just isn't like at the top of my brain right now. Define it by the boundaries. Yeah, cause I just want to look at the Like literal regional frontiers. Well, if it's a newer world, it's all frontier. That is true. Yeah, because I mean, you know, we were looking at this map, of course. I have a lot of places in this map that are not developed at all. And all of it is a frontier to me. It may not be like a frontier to everybody in the world. But like, look at this. There's so much frontier over here for me. Again, I don't think we're going to be diving out over there. Yeah, the ink spot is a huge frontier. There's so much stuff out here. I don't even know what's out here. I don't know what's going on here. Thinking about adding a magical frontier. Wizards researching interdimensional travel. Ooh. Maybe I could add some modern day connection to Earth. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, if you come up with interdimensional travel in Terra Nova, you could have some interactions maybe with Magic Earth. And that'd be really funny to see your two worlds just like interacting with each other. A little time and space travel, and they've ended up basically in Earth. So I imagine the Earth they came from isn't Magic Earth. It's just our Earth. So it's like home, but it's not. Did they get our internet there? That would mess them up. That'd be silly. And yeah, I don't know, because humans came from Earth, lost contact with it, and now they're researching what brought their ancestors to the world. Yeah, and since it was their ancestors that came to the world, I assume that they don't really know what internet is, so if they got internet, I feel like that'd be wild. Because of course the internet did not survive the, like, technological shift, I think, as you mentioned. And so, yeah. You just research internet. Our Earth is more like our Earth than Magic Earth, except half the US population disappeared in the 90s. Yeah. And of course, internet in the 90s was like... It was there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, one person's cell phone that still has signal for some reason. That'd be really funny. We will add this little tidbit. Much of Melkora... I spelled my world's name wrong. It was all GeoCities and Yahoo back then. Yeah, I still have my Yahoo email. Netscape. And these were the early days of internet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh gosh. Sorry, I'm like freaking myself out because I just, I put my feet on my little radiator down under my desk and I remember that a spider took up residence there, so now I'm like, like I witnessed it with my own two eyes and I just put my feet there, I'm like, it could be on me, it could be not on me, but either way I destroyed its house. I was gonna let it live there, not remembering that I just constantly put my feet there. I'm just hanging out. Oh boy. Now I'm paranoid because my pinky toe hurts. I'm like, oh, did it bite me? I hope it didn't. It's a really tiny one, so I don't think it would. Melkora on a metal level is yet to be developed and remains frontier even to me as its creator. This is showcased beautifully in the map I created. In the map I created over the course of World Ember this past year. And you can see that map linked below under the spoiler. And so yeah, we'll just add that little tidbit. Wham bam, and here we go. We have the whole thing. So yes, much of Malcora on a meta level is yet to be developed and remains a frontier even to me as its creator. This is showcased beautifully in the map I created over the course of World Ember this past year, and you can see that map linked below under the spoiler button. I'm gonna get rid of button because it just makes it go on to the next line, and I don't like that. Linked below under the spoiler. Excellent. Yeah, so we have 2 themes out of the way now. Yeah, so Frontier has given me a lot to think about, and it has me really thinking about the regions of the world and how exactly I want to portray an ever-changing world on what is essentially what I'm writing essentially is like a static snapshot of the world. And so I would be designing these places based on like what they are right now. So if a place is like changing all the time, I'd kind of want to pick like, you know, what is it in the present day? What is it right now? What I can write about what it could become, I can write about what it has been. I need to decide what the snapshot of my world right now looks like. That's kind of hard because I'm a little indecisive. Moshpit Monk, hey, it's me. Here to interrupt your train of thought. With
Refresh yourselves.
Thank you. Get your insides wet. I don't like that phrasing. Moshpit Monk, are you here to see my thinkings for summer camp? Yes, maybe. I took an extra sippy in your honor. Yeah. All right. So, because we finished writing about our little week 2 homework, I'm going to reiterate what I've written for both weeks, since you happen to be here and I wish to talk to you about these things. So we've got 2 themes for summer camp so far. We've got power and we've got frontier. And so, for power in Malcora, different forms of power I've written is a staple theme in Malcora. But of course, I haven't taken a lot of time to just put it into writing, put it into words. And so, I wish to write about the dynamics at play within my world that is essentially a constant battle between 2 sets of magical entities, which is the gods and the elementals. So these are 2 sets of powerful entities that kind of like clash against each other all the time. And the 3rd form of magic, the ley lines, the like arcane magic that just flows through the world. There is not an entity that controls these things, it just is. And so this magic has a way of just kind of keeping the gods and elementals in check, because they are not as powerful as the laws of the world, essentially. And so I want to write about that relationship, about that like 3-power system, where 2 of these powers are a little bit less powerful, but they have autonomy. But the first one is extremely powerful, but does not have autonomy. It just occurs. It's like a pattern of the weather, essentially. Like, you know, the rain does not come to ruin your parade because it wants to ruin your parade. It just happens that way. That's basically how magic in my world affects, you know, like, the machinations of the gods, essentially. The gods will try to do something, but then the natural magics of the world will be like, ooh, sorry, this thing that you were doing, this thing you were planning here, sorry, I turned your region into an arcane wasteland. My bad. Like, again, it doesn't have autonomy, it doesn't think about these things, it just happens. It's just the energy of the world doing stuff, reacting to things. That's just how it works. And so when I'm not covering that topic, I will be writing about the Kingdom of Arsavella, which is going to be my starting region. Like kind of like baby's first step into Malcora is going to be the Kingdom of Arsavella. And so, for summer camp, we have given ourselves a very broad stage to work with, and also a much smaller local stage to work with. And so, for week 2, we have the Frontier. That is our theme for week 2, what our week 2 prompts will be about. Of course, Malcora is full of unexplored and uninhabited places. And this is because of how magic in the world works and how the regions change and shift all the time. And so while the people living there will survive, albeit completely changed, their civilizations may not. Different types of people are going to change in different types of ways. And this is going to cause divides that maybe previously did not exist before. It could cause unions that didn't exist before. And so sometimes civilizations survive these radical changes, and sometimes they just crumble and fall apart as everyone goes off somewhere else to do something else. And so that is another thing that is like it comes back to the original theme of power and the themes of magic that I plan to dive into, because it's magic that is changing these regions and creating these frontiers. Dystopia, Utopia, Autumn, hi! Here to work with y'all, heck yeah. I am just talking about, you know, what I've written for my pledge and my ideas for what I'm going to be writing about my world. And yeah, so it's kind of this big talk about magic in the world, how it works and what it's doing to the world, and how the magic from the power theme from last week is actually going to be what causes a lot of these frontiers to appear. Arranging my dice and sitting, heck yeah. Oh, ooh, okay, so on the topic of dice, we are starting a new D&D campaign because, well, we got TPK'd last week or the week before. I don't know how time works. We got TPK'd recently. And so we are starting a brand new campaign. Originally the campaign that we were doing was a Waterdeep Dragon Heist. But after like 2 sessions, our DM was like, yeah, we're taking this adventure off the rails and we're doing our own thing. And so we were on this just, like, wacky wild adventure, doing silly things, breaking into people's houses, into towers, all that kind of stuff, you know, normal stuff. And in the end, what took us out was like a vampire showing up in the bar we were chilling out in. And it was really tragic because at one point the DM looks at us like, guys, she had 4 HP at one point. How did this happen? So we almost lived. Almost. And then everything just went, like, catastrophically wrong all at once, I guess. And then it ended up with our Goliath running out into the street being attacked by bats. And of course it's Waterdeep, so everyone's looking out their windows watching this happen like, good luck. So dude just dies in the streets being, like, effectively, like, pecked at by bats. So, you know, it's funny. I got charmed, and of course, like, hot vampire, I'm not gonna do what she I'm not gonna not do what she says. She told me to basically step into a giant hole, and I did, without questioning any of it. I know with charms, usually they're not supposed to be able to, like, tell you to do things that will harm you. But fuck it. This sounds much crazy. It was. It absolutely was. It was really funny. Because I think that's the first time in my life that I'd ever seen, like, an entire room of people die and have a really fun time with it. Like, the vibes were immaculate, everyone was laughing, everyone thought this was, like, the funniest thing they'd ever done in their lives. It was really great. It was exciting. It was the most ridiculous thing I think I'd ever been involved with. And I'm gonna see if I can just find a little abridged description of what happened. Someone had just like a really good one paragraph, like, this is what happened and that is really silly. Let's see. I have to scroll up a bit in our Discord. Let's see. I didn't think it was this far up, oh my gosh. Let's see. Yes, the more I think about it, the more hilarious our final moments were. Del gets fired from his job and just decides to chill with us. App is gleefully throwing money into the pot, hoping some awful creature comes out of the portal and unknowingly welcomes a vampire. We're like, swarm of bats, we got this, and then proceed to get squashed by hot vampire mommy. And at the end, Sigyn, the giant 7-foot-tall beefcake, runs out into the street being chased by 2 tiny bats and then dies out there. Yep. And so, that's excellent. Sentence about people dying would be strange out of context. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, it would be. So let's see. Yeah, and so, like, I think the funniest part about this TPK is that in the context of the story, one of our party members was with us for like 1 to 2 days maximum. Oh, Satrium, thank you for following. Hello. Hello, welcome. Yeah, so one of these people in character was with us for like 2 days. And the other person we picked up that same morning. And then we all just died. Satrium, hello. Take an honorary sip for the new person. Welcome, welcome. I hope you are feral and ready for summer camp. Because I am. That's why I already have the homework done. And of course we need to do some of the extra credit. And of course, because I've already finished my little theme preparation last week, this week, now I think we will dive into what we haven't done yet, and that is our meta. Woohoo. Well, hold on. I'm remembering I don't have an icon for my pledge article yet. Oh, I haven't started my homework yet, but I feel like I lived it already. Yeah, I mean, you kind of did. If I can get a little ice cream. Basically already did your homework. Yeah, you were there for that. Of course, I need to get a little ice cream icon. And there we go. We have a little ice cream icon over by our summer camp pledge. We're gonna see. Damn. I was looking up if they were like jaws or something. Teeth? Arr. Yeah, none of them seem feral enough for me. What about raccoon? Oh. Animal? Wait, I love this little otter. That is so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh, there, but I haven't written down any of that yet. Oh. Well, at least it'll be really easy for you to just write it down. I mean, thinking of things to write is often like the worst part. We got the shrimp icon. I like this one, just bugs. Cute. True, has gone through my brain already. Yeah, that's why I like doing this stuff on stream. Like, I just start talking, I start rambling, and then when it's time to sit down and write, I'm like, huh, I've already said all the things that I want to put in here, so let's just try to summon those words back to my brain. The hard part has already been done, I just need to summon it back. Summon it back, start writing about it again. It's excellent. So yes, so for any of the newcomers, again, I will just share my little pledge article. If you want to share your own pledge articles, like, go for it. Absolutely share with each other. Share amongst yourselves. I will encourage that. And, ooh, where are we going? This is the meta button. Alright, so let us start looking at the meta. We can view the world meta. I need to kind of see what I already had in here to evaluate what needs to change. Because I think the last time I updated my meta was a very long time ago. And at that point, I've already changed a lot of things. Like, I've definitely changed, like, the relationship of magic to the world. So anything that I've written about as far as magic may not be fully correct, although I'm looking at some of the things, like, kind of just reading ahead, and I think it's at least reasonable. Can use Nee's suggestion and show some prompts for summer camps past. Ooh, I could link some of my favorite summer camp articles. I know I had some, like, real favorites last year. Because last year was a fantastic year for summer camp for me, because for the first time in my, at that point, 4 years of summer camp, I finished early. Like, I had days to finish up my articles, to, like, pretty them up, and just make them look really nice and really good. And so I'm hoping that I can do the same thing this year. I can just make some, like, really nice, like, high quality articles, at least a couple. I'm not gonna shoot for having every article be, like, beautiful perfect. Was it Summer Camp or World Ember where you rocked it with prizes? You know, I didn't win categories in either, actually. I think Summer Camp last year I got an honorable mention from Dimmy for the, conflict, for, like, yeah, one of, like, the conflict prompts. But that's it. Like, I won the grand prize in summer camp, so I would say that I rocked it as far as that goes. But as far as, like, article, like, sponsor rewards, I didn't win any of those. Yeah, I hit best cartographer. But yeah, that's separate from summer camp and World Ember, so only only. Copper's cool. Yeah, copper's great. And if you are part of the club that really enjoys badges, of course, if you're shooting for copper, I would look into Time Pool's Bronze Buddies. I love that. I think it's so cute. I'm gonna see if I can summon it real quick. Repair only. But yeah, I've never won a category or anything like that in any of these competitions before. So part of me's like, ooh, I could shoot for it. I could, like, really try to go for it. But we'll see. Again, that just chalks up to how much time I think I'll have. How much time I think I'll have to write, to develop my, like, ideas and things. It also depends on which prompts I really like, you know? So I might try to shoot for a few, I might try to, like, lay low on some other ones. Here you go. If you want to be a bronze buddy, check out Time Pool's pledge. There's this cute little badge. I think the Bronze Buddies badge is so cute. It's so sweet. I've won some categories. It's a very nice endorphin rush. Yeah, like, everything I've won really has been from a prize draw. Like I won the cruise last year, which is still mind-boggling, insano moment. I've won, like, a candle from Cantrip Candles. I got a mug for Beautiful People, so that's also really fun. And then, like, just blowing everything out of the water, like, me who's never won an award before, like, I just go to the World Building Awards and I get 2 from it, so that's pretty nuts. I think my goal is going to be to win at least something with my writing. Like, you know, with an article, with, like, something like that. Yeah, because so far, like, you know, I won with a map, which, you know, I love my map, but of course, like, you know, that's an art thing. So I won with art, and I also got Beautiful World, which is also, you know, beautiful world. It's like layout, visual stuff. I would like to win something off of world building, like written world building. So that's gonna be my goal. I'm gonna try to really like push at least a couple articles to be above and beyond this year, and we shall see. On a bunch of stuff, my white whale is winning one of the monthly challenges. Yeah, I was shortlisted for On the Shoulders of Giants, which is really awesome. It was my first time kind of like going in on one of the monthly challenges, like one of the big competitive challenges. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go in on this. I'm gonna make some maps. I'm gonna do some writing. I think in the end, what really lost it for me is that I didn't embrace the chronicle feature as much. And so, yeah. I think if I really mastered the use of chronicles and I made something like spectacular in there, I really just kind of like threw it together. Because all my focus was on the article, and I think the article itself is great. It's still one of my favorites. It really was about that feature, and I didn't really use it too much, so I don't really win much. Well, you haven't been around much either, so they stopped being monthly long ago. That is true. It's also tragic. I'm so jealous of all the people with these like excellent badges just like flooded on their profiles, because I wasn't around for kind of like the that era of, you know, challenges all the time. And so now I'm like, get badge, please. It's time. Oh no.
Refresh yourselves.
Why, thank you. Mushpit Monk, did you hear all of my rambling? What you sipping on, by the way? Water. It's just water. Liquids. I need to be hydrated because I have not been consuming enough water for a long time. No, what do you mean no?
Refresh yourselves.
Is that like a sad little no to me saying I'm dehydrated? Or is that a no that you're sad I'm drinking water and not something else? It's a no that I didn't hear everything. What? I asked you if you wanted to hear about it and you said yes, and so I started talking. Woohoo. Oh, I can read my article. Oh, you could.
Refresh yourselves.
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Refresh yourselves.
Stop. Why must you do this?
Refresh yourselves.
He's just doing his due diligence to keep me hydrated. Last one for now. All right. I will put the mug down. That'll be the last one. Let's see. Right, so we are looking at...
Refresh yourselves.
Oh, you stopped and now someone else is doing it. Why, thank you. Dang it, you're out here converting strangers. Alright. So we are in fact here because we are looking at the meta at this point. And yeah, so let's just kind of dive into this. This is a little extra credit from last week. I just didn't have any time to just sit down and work on meta stuff. I was gonna work on meta stuff on Tuesday night's stream, but like I don't know who's been following the news on the whole like wildfires in Canada thing, but my entire region was like orange. And so breathing was weird. I was very tired. I just didn't stream on Tuesday because I think it's pretty reasonable to say that I was not I was not in a good mindset for it. So yeah. Is it getting better? Yeah, it's like it's pretty normal here at this point, I think. I go dinner, go and lurk. Bye. Goodbye. Thank you for hopping in and hanging out. Let's see, I'll look up what the air quality says right now. Yeah, air quality's back down to 90, which is like, that's good. We were almost, the scale pretty much goes up to 500 from what I can tell. We were sitting at around 460 on Tuesday. So that's really cool. But today we're back down to 90, which is considerably better. So yeah, I do think it's getting better. I'm still trying to go out, you know, like wearing a mask and such. More just trying not to go outside, period. But yeah. Okay, so let's just read through this meta that I already have, and then we can kind of pick out together like what fits still, what does not fit anymore. And so let's see. Scope. The motivation behind building Malcora. A world-building project on a massive scale is a daunting one for sure, but it's the excitement of creation that keeps me going. Creating a world like this opens many opportunities to learn, engage with communities, and to create things I never dreamed of before. Working on this world, I've already researched countless topics I may have never touched otherwise, and I've even dived into the world of conlangs. I stay motivated by the prospects of always learning something new, no matter what it is I am writing. Yeah, I would say that that has not changed at all. Like this little motivation. Like I don't have well, the next part will say like the realm of Malcora is an ongoing project of mine with no clear end goal. Will it be a game or campaign setting? Will it be a realm in which countless stories take place? I'm not sure. I believe its end purpose will be found as it grows closer to a cohesive and complete state. But for now, it is a series. It serves as an outlet for creativity, and I take joy in the journey. Yeah, so those two things together, that has not changed. It is still true. It is just Malcora is just a place for me to be just radically creative and not have a product that I'm working towards. Like I don't have plans for books. I don't have plans for stories, for games, for like anything. I just yeah, I figured my purpose for world building is the world building itself. Exactly. Like I'm just here to make stuff. I like writing. I like being creative, and it's just it's cool. Like I have a whole world that I'm just like making stuff for. It's so much fun, and that's really what it is. My objective for world building is to have fun. It's to, you know, like meet excellent people, to share my ideas with people, to share my work, to see other people's work. It's just really fun. It's just so much inspiration just floating around all over the place in this community, and it's just I love calling it my home, and so that's my objective. Yeah, so my goal for world building is just to world build. I fooled myself into thinking I'd publish an RPG book or something, but I'm just building a setting for my games. Yeah, I would love to run like D&D or, you know, some D&D similar game in my world. I would just need to figure out what kind of system I want to work with. Of course, I could just adapt D&D to my world, and that could theoretically work, but with the way magic works in my world, I'm really not sure how that would function. Because, you know, spellcasters in D&D, like they are a thing, and they may exist in my world, but not in an accessible way. You can always make your own system. Yeah. And I think if a system is ever to be assigned to Malcora, it will be one that I create myself. Or like, you know, by myself, I mean like I will be either doing by myself or leading a project in which we make this system, but it would essentially be one that I like invent. Maybe with some help. Probably with some help. I don't really do systems very much. If you have the spoons, yes, I don't have the passion for that. I have the passion, just not the knowledge or... What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. The knowledge or... I don't know. I don't feel like it is necessary at this point in time, so I'm just kind of... Experience? I guess experience maybe... I don't even know how to describe the word that I'm looking for. It's just like mulling around in my brain, just... I don't know. We'll figure it out. In any case... Or I guess the aptitude for picking apart and creating systems. I just don't really do that very much or very well. I know Melkora is your only world, but if you had more, how would you go about crossovers between them? That's a really good question. Because I don't necessarily have plans for, like I know you were mentioning, like interdimensional magic and such. I don't really know if I have plans like that. But it is kind of written into the story of my world that the gods came from somewhere, but no one really knows where. They were not born from this world. So it could just be finding a way to explore where they came from, and maybe where they came from is from that other world, you know? But because I'm not thinking about other worlds at the moment, I don't really know how else I would approach it. But yeah, as far as like aptitude for systems and things, like any game that I go to, any game that I play, like when I say go to, I mean like LARPs and such. Mechanically, I am just so out of touch with like the best way to work within a system. I basically just say like, okay, yes, I have some abilities and this is what they do, and that's kind of the full amount of depth that I have in participating in those systems. I say how much I admire people able to contain their creativity to one world. Yeah, I mean, in my case, I think I have like a much more open field for maintaining one world because so much of my world is so different from other places within the world. Like things are always changing, things are always happening. There are a lot of things just like out of the norm, essentially, that any idea I come up with, I can fit somewhere in this world and it will make sense. I cheat because all worlds come to visit my one world. There you go. Let's see. Malcora's unique selling point. This is probably one that I may have to change, probably. Malcora is tied heavily to themes of magic, particularly divine. Thematically, it is a world that will appeal most to those who love worlds and characters that interact with gods and faith, and stories that come from choosing to dive headfirst into faith, or from trying to avoid faith in a world driven by it. Yeah, so okay. That already, when I first started this world, I wanted it to be like heavily god focused, but now I'm leaning away from that focus, and I'm more thinking about like the triad of powers that function within my world. And Nino, hi, thank you for following. Thanks for popping on by. But yeah, so when I wrote this meta, I was definitely like super god focused, and that is no longer the case. So while it is true, well, first time catching a stream, hello, welcome. Don't let me stop you. Yeah, so while it is true that gods are still going to be very influential in Malcora, and it is still going to be true that if you like characters and worlds that interact with gods and faith, you will still enjoy Malcora. It is just not going to be the primary focus. But here we go. We continue saying, likewise, this is a world in which environments see frequent change and where the people and creatures alike have evolved to meet these changes. The setting is as dynamic as any storyteller could will it to be, creating brand new adventures from existing geographical locations, exploring the effects of magic throughout the world. So that one is still 100% true. So first paragraph, not really. Second paragraph, 100% true. And so tying together concepts I've forged myself and real world concepts that exist in daily life, I have to create a world that is full of wonder, magic, and some tasteful horror without being entirely alien and unfamiliar. See, that last one I think is going to be a little bit less true now, as I'm kind of trying to really shoot for like, this is an ever-changing, ever-shifting world. It's not going to be super familiar. At least not in the way that I think I've described it already. And the real salties, hi, hello. How are you doing? I'm running out of sip to sip, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, so let's see. I don't know. Where the hook and the unique selling point. We'll have to rewrite this a little bit. Ba-ba-ba. Alright, so I have to decide how exactly I want to rewrite this. I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to hear that. Oh gosh. Gotta be honest, I can only listen right now, but I can leave my lurk and this. Ooh. A subscription? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And this for sure won't be the last one I can make. Excellent. I will be glad to see you. And thank you so much for stopping by and thank you for listening. Yeah, I super do not mind when people just come by to listen, because I'm just here to do some work and just have fun. And so if you enjoy sitting back and listening, chat is not required. Let's see. So we are trying to rewrite kind of this first paragraph. Are you writing a book? I'm not writing a book. No. I do not have an end project that is tied to my world building. I am just world building to world build. And so I am putting together this world, again, with no clear end goal. No books planned, just creating stuff, making stuff happen. So let's see, Melkora is tied heavily to themes of magic, which is true. So I think I will just gonna snip that and put it up here. And Melkora is tied heavily to themes of magic. I'm trying to, again, I'm having that moment of like words are not happening the way I want them to happen. Because I know what I want to convey, I just don't know how to word it in a way that is nice and pleasant for the reader experience. Oh, hold Goodness, okay. So I think I want to instead start off, maybe, with a theme of change. Don't mind my little frustrated sounds of... I'm just reverting into a Minecraft villager with every hardship I encounter. And now I really want to play Minecraft. Thank you, me, for saying such things. Also, I would like to share an achievement with everybody. I've actually managed to use this entire chapstick without losing it. And that's pretty crazy. I dare say that's like unheard of. I barely got anything on my lips just now because it's like, it's in there. It's like concave in the little like plastic container that it's in. But I still tried it because I'm too lazy to get up and grab the other one from my room. Melkora is a world brimming with magic. Notably lacking people who can command it. Yes, we can say that to start off. Melkora is a world brimming with magic, but notably lacking in people who can command it. And that is true. Magic users in Melkora are exceptionally rare. So you're not going to have a whole bunch of sorcerers running around. Are you using general articles for frontiers? So everything that we're doing so far is just in one article, and that is our pledge article. And so I've put everything, all of the content into one article. That is my summer camp pledge. And so I have a section for the actual homework. And so for power, I wrote this much. For frontier, I wrote this much. And everything else on the page is just additional fluff. It's just additional, you know, community stuff that I'm doing. Of course I have the little pledge image on here. Yeah, it's all in one article, just the summer camp pledge. And that is where we put our homework. And so if you're doing homework, all you really need to do is, like, you know, have a section like this for power. Have a section like this for frontier. It doesn't have to be as long as, like, the stuff I've written. It can be longer, it can be shorter. Just answer, you know, answer a couple questions for yourself. Just write down your thoughts, like, what is power in your world? What are frontiers in your world? It's just idea generation. You're just thinking of what you might want to write, what makes sense for you. I've just noticed something in my formatting that I don't like. I need an extra break here. So that frontier is a little separated from the paragraph below it. Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah, no, I'm not using multiple articles, but it is a general, like, generic article for the first one. And so let's see, where were we? Yeah, magic users, not common in Melkora by any means. I will say now that they do exist, and they will exist very conditionally. But you cannot, in most cases, you will not be able to simply learn how to wield magic. It is something that will be incredibly difficult to find and to do. And if you are able to do it, it is likely because you have been in some way changed by this form of magic, and you are now connected to it directly. Not a connection you can forge, it is one that you are just granted, essentially. So that is gonna be the primary difference that I think makes it really difficult for me to run specifically the 5e system in. Because of course, you know, spellcasters are nuts in D&D. They can do so many things and from so many origins, and so it's just all over the place. I'd really have to make my own system. Let's see. Notably lacking in people who can command it. This is a world in which environments see frequent change. I really want to rewrite this so I don't. Command it. Hmm. Ley lines carry magic throughout the world. Surges in different regions, causing radical change. Gosh, I just really don't like the things that I'm trying to write right now. We're having one of those writer struggles, my friends. But I do like starting off with that because it, I don't know, in terms of fantasy settings, I think a lot of people really want to know as quickly as possible, like, you know, what access to magic do I as a regular person have? And if the answer to that is not a lot, bud, you'll usually want to know that like ahead of time, and you'll want to know why ahead of time. So I think starting off with that little tidbit is going to be a good one. Environments see frequent change as magic surges in different regions. Causing shifting landscapes. Altered life forms. And I wanna add like a third something to that. Shifting landscapes, altered life forms, and we can come back to it. We'll just put a period there. Let's see. Do like this. I do like the line that I added. The setting is as dynamic as any storyteller could will it to be, creating brand new adventures from existing geographical locations and exploring the effects of magic throughout the world. We'll say shifting landscapes, altered life forms, and unforeseen challenges. Cores hide heavily to themes of magic, of which there are 3 types. Thematically, this world will appeal most to those who love worlds and characters that interact with gods and faith. Interact with gods and faith. Elemental magic. And with ley lines. Hmm. Oh. So yes, so this is what we have right now. I think it automatically, okay, yeah, so it automatically saves. A little concerning that it does that, because if I mess something up, it's gone forever. But it's okay. Yes, Malkor is a world brimming with magic, but notably lacking in people who can command it. Environments see frequent change as magic surges in different regions, causing shifting landscapes, altered life forms, and unforeseen challenges. The setting is as dynamic as any storyteller could will it to be, creating brand new adventures from existing geographical locations and exploring the effects of magic throughout the world. Malkor is tied heavily to themes of magic, of which there are 3 types. Thematically, this world will appeal most to those who love worlds and characters that interact with gods and faith, with elemental magics and the magic of ley lines. And maybe we'll keep the last bit that says, tying together concepts I've forged myself and real-world concepts that exist in daily life, I hope to create a world that is full of wonder, magic, and some tasteful horror, without being entirely alien and unfamiliar. And I noticed I spelled tasteful with 2 L's. That's fun. I kind of don't like that last sentence. Let's see. I have to create a world that's full of wonder magic. We don't really need that. That's not like a selling point. Gods and faith. Just gods and faith, elementals and natural magic. And the arcane magic of ley lines. Now, because I think if I'm going to mention that there are 3 types of magic, I should talk about that power dynamic and how it works. But at the same time, I'm wondering maybe if there's a maybe a different section in which that would be better discussed, like in depth. The character agency level, what is the tone of your world? How do I not have the tone? I guess I put it in genre? Yeah, I put it in a different section. What are recurring themes which reinforce the genre, tone, and feel of the world? Let's see, focus. First focus point. I feel like focus points would be a good place to put something like, you know, the different forms of magic and how they interact with each other, because that will be a huge focus point. Yeah, so we can have like a couple focus points. Drama. Yeah, what kind of drama points would we have? Let's see, basic properties. Okay, what are the fundamental differences in the natural laws of your world compared to Earth? I think that would be actually the best place to write about what my magic system does. How did the world come to be? We'll write about that at a later time because I don't have that fully idealized at this point. What does the geography of your world look like? Does it have any special properties or features? Absolutely it does. Things get really weird. Ever-changing is really what it is. What is the initial size of your active setting? What is the initial scale of your active storytelling space? An island, a region, a continent, for example. Defining your initial active setting does not mean your players or main characters can't go elsewhere, but it does help you create a starting point which feels rich and alive. So, feature. Big ink blot. Yes. Yeah, so as far as active setting, I think what I'm trying to gear towards is having an active setting of being Kingdom of Arsavella and its surrounding area. So kind of like that section of the continent is where I want things to begin. It's where I want to kind of set people when they first enter this world. And from there, they can go explore wherever they want. Yeah, I don't know, so... It does say you'll be exploring, like in this example, you'll be exploring different planets, so an active area might be a solar system. So if people are exploring the whole world eventually, that makes it sound like I want the whole world to be the initial starting setting. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. My goal is not necessarily to write the entire meta right now, but just to correct it, to make sure that I don't have anything on there that is distinctly not accurate anymore. Which there most certainly is, you know, there most certainly was already stuff in there that I was not in agreement with anymore. Oh gosh, why am I so sleepy? Why am I sleepy on every single Saturday stream? That's basically what I did, yeah. Like, I just want to make sure that if anyone opens my meta, they don't read information that is just flat out incorrect. Like, you know, you can open an article from my world and have it be outdated, and I'll be like, I don't like that, but it's fine. But my meta is like, that's the information that I have written down that should be like the truth. This is what is telling people what my world is about and why I wrote it. And so I want that information to all be 100% accurate. Everything else, you know, I have a lot of articles to change. I can't do that in one day. But of course, extra credit for today's homework is cleaning up your world, organizing your articles. And so, hee. Some of my stuff is a few years outdated, but not wrong. Yeah, see, I do have the issue where stuff in my older articles is wrong, and so that's a little concerning, and I need to go take care of that at some point. Although there was a point a little while ago where I was like, you know, making private a bunch of older articles that are just flat out wrong. So they might not all be accessible anymore anyway, but since organizing is part of the homework for this week, definitely something I will have to look into. Just have to make sure. And wait, what is this foundation button? Oh. I don't know. Some imagery, get some music, books and literature. The world is already organized. I started a story Bible. That's cool. It's good to be organized. It's like what is this? You can get tags for world meta stuff? Interesting. A lot of purple names. Well, there's only 2. I think I'm yellow. I guess we have 3. Streamlabs was looking at someone else and calling them orange when they are actually purple in the real chat. Interesting. Next, my name should be yellow, and yes, it is. I just had to check for a second. Let's see. Yeah, there's 3. Yeah. Let's see. An anchor to reinvigorate your passion. So yeah, so the inspiration here is literally for just like inspiration and not your own stuff, but we'll see. We'll come back to this at some point. We'll see how it goes. Who used to live here and what is their history? I can change colors. You don't have to change colors if you don't want to. We can have a little purple club. Species cultures live here now and what's their history? What do they need and what do they need from each other? Yes, that's fun. Anyway, I keep distracting myself. I need to get done the things that I'm trying to do. Let's see. Thematically, this world will appeal most to those who love worlds and characters that interact with themes such as gods and faith, different forms of magic, and evolving environments. I will take that and I will be happy with that. And so what is it? Scene? Is that what? Yes, okay, so that's where natural laws come in. We'll say Malcora is tied heavily to themes of magic, of which there are 3 types. Let's see, do I want to do... I want to do little... Let's see. We have... Leyline. Leylines, we'll just say leylines. Wrong direction. Okay, we have the ley lines. Arcane magic flows through world. Along ley lines. Surging in different regions as the ley lines emerge within them. And now we have divine. Gods returned to Malcora. Gods returned to Malcora in the world's darkest hour. Granting blessings and aid. And the calamity of magic threatened to destroy the world. And then we shall say as well, give elemental. Ancient as the world itself. Ancient as the world itself, the primordial entities of Malcora command the elements. And may choose to grant their boon to its inhabitants. So let's see what that looks like over here. Well, oh, scene. Okay, so it takes you to a completely different place. Oops, I did that thing again where I just kind of... just oopsie poopsied and put something where it should not be. And bold that. I kind of goofed all over that one, but alright. So yeah, so we go to the scene tab. We have the laws of Malcora. So Malcora is tied heavily to themes of magic, of which there are 3 types. We have the ley lines. Arcane magic flows through the world along ley lines, surging in different regions as the ley lines emerge within them. Divine. Gods return to Malcora in the world's darkest hour, granting blessings and aid when the calamity of magic threatened to destroy the world. And elemental. Ancient as the world itself, the primordial entities of Malcora command the elements and may choose to grant their boon to its inhabitants. There we go. We have at least that going for us. Let's see, how did this world come to be? I don't know. We'll figure that out at some point. Going to prepare dinner. Bye! Farewell! You know, on the topic of dinner, that actually reminds me, it is about 4 o'clock, which means it is about time for us to start wrapping up. I love getting to just sit here and work on my writing with you guys. This is so much fun. Hey, thank you for stream. Thank you for watching stream. Honestly, thank you for stream. You were on stream earlier and it was really great to watch, so I'll thank you. You thank me. We're even. Yes, of course, if anyone wants to continue hanging out with me and chatting about anything WorldAnvil, world building, art related, anything, whatever, it doesn't matter. I have a Discord server, so you are more than welcome to come by and chat. Welcome to say hello, and if you want to be notified about my streams, this is the best place to be. Sometimes I'm a little late on pinging people about streams, but it's okay. Um, I'm a silly little fool, and that's okay. And yeah, so if you want my updates, if you want more updates about, you know, current events in world building, if you want to know about what I'm working on, about my art, I also just post all of that stuff in my Discord, and it is just the best place to be if you want to keep up with my work. And other than that, I think your streams are the best thing for after WorldAnvil stream. Oh, thank you. I don't have a lot of worlds, but I'm on so many Discord servers. Oh yes, me too. I always tell myself like, oh, I have so many Discord servers. I need to stop doing this. And then my friends are like, hey, I made a Discord server, and I'm like, oh, you did you? But yeah. Of course, if you don't want to join and you also want to see just updates from me in general, I do have the social medias. And so I do recommend you pop in there. I think following people on social media is a little bit less annoying than joining 10,000 Discord servers. But yeah. So that is up to you guys. I will be working on my world meta and all these other things throughout the week. I'll be organizing my articles, you know, just good summer camp homework stuff. And yeah, so feel free to check me out on social media, check out on my Discord server, just, you know, everything related to all that stuff is in my little description thing. I do Twitter mostly, despite the hellscape it's becoming. Oh yeah, for sure. Follow you on Twitter, don't have Instagram on TikTok. Yeah, that's fair. I don't really use Instagram as much these days anyway, because I don't know, it's just not fun to use anymore. But yeah, I'm trying to do the TikTok thing because it's fun. I try to post more, you know, like world building content, just all that good stuff. But tomorrow, for world building stuff instead of for personal stuff. Yeah, true. Yes, tomorrow is going to be my next stream. It is going to be my usual Sunday gaming stream, so I'm going to be playing some more Graveyard Keeper. That's the word that I was looking for. Yeah, so if you want to come watch me play some Graveyard Keeper, I will be live again tomorrow playing some more video games. And other than that, I think we did great today. I hope you guys got your homework done, because I did. And I'll just be working on my extra credit assignment until next time. So, toodaloo, goodbye, and you know, I really should check if there's anybody raidable. Ooh. There is someone live, it looks like. Dazzlycat is writing a TTRPG. So I think we should all just drop by and say hi. What do you guys think? This is another Anvilite, someone that we love to see. And so, yeah, let's just keep the summer camp hype going, everyone. Just get ready to bite into your ice cream cones, and yes, stay feral. Stay happy, stay hydrated, have a lovely, wonderful days. We're gonna go raid Dazzlycat, say hi, say hello, say some nice words, and stick around if you like what they're doing.